The Democratic Alliance is expected to unveil its candidate for Johannesburg mayor in the 2026 local government elections today in Soweto here in Gauteng. Amongst the leading contenders in the race is DA Federal Council Chair Helen Zille. SABC News reporter Ntlantla Kgatlhane joins us live from Soweto now. Ntlantla, a very good morning to you. Over the past couple of months, a lot of speculation about who exactly that mayoral candidate will be. But of course, Helen Zille has not been quiet about the possibility of her being a mayoral candidate. What are we expecting today? I really don't want to jump the gun, but there's a lot of speculation this morning.
Yes, well, indeed, Griselda, coming to you right here from Soweto, where the Democratic Alliance is leaving nothing to chance. I endorse Metro, saying that they are a priority and kickstarting their campaign by announcing their mayoral candidate here in the city of Johannesburg. A Metro, a very strategic city, Griselda, the party, like I already mentioned, is leaving nothing to chance. But I just want to bring a party leader here, the chairperson of the DA Federal, who's Dr. Ivan Meyer, who's just going to talk to us in terms of the criteria and how many people, had raised their hands, to take the seat forward. If you remember, in 2021, Griselda, their candidate was Mpopalaze. I'm just going to talk to Dr. Ivan Meyer here who's with us. Thank you so much for the time. You are here to announce your mayoral candidate. A lot has been said. A name was mentioned at some point, being Helen Zille. Before we go to that, talk to us in terms of the criteria that you guys used, to eye somebody that you prefer as your mayoral candidate here in the city of Johannesburg, and also, what a person needs to qualify to be one.
Well, you use the word that we eye nobody. We eye a fair process. We open the process for candidates. We appoint a committee, a selection committee, where candidates are competing fairly, equally through a process. We also give them real life problems. The city of Johannesburg is broken at every single level. So we give them a real life case study. How will they rescue the town? I just come now from a well-run city of Cape Town. I just landed here in Johannesburg. This place is broken at every single level. So what we do, we look for a person with the right skills, competencies and quality that are able to rescue Johannesburg, because Johannesburg is the financial capital of South Africa. So we have a fair criteria. We've got the selection panel. We've got a process. There's a number of questions. We go into the history and the background of the person, and we have a fair process. Whoever that candidate is will be announced later today by our federal leader, John Steenhuisen. And that will be a fair process because we had a thorough process. We have done the same in the city of Tshwane, and we will certainly do the same in Mogale City and in Ekurhuleni. If Johannesburg, Ekurhuleni, Mogale and Tshwane works, then South Africa will work. And today we will announce a candidate that will make Johannesburg work, not only for Gauteng but for South Africa.
You guys are starting with the city of Johannesburg. How many people had raised or were interviewed? Just talk to us with regards to the trimming to eventually come to this point of selecting one.
Well, the internal processes are normally confidential, but there were a number of candidates that applied for the position through internal processes. They were scored by a competent panel, and the panel has then made a recommendation to the federal executive. The federal executive has considered the recommendation of the selection panel and is convinced that the candidate that will be announced today is the best candidate for the job, and there is unanimous agreement within the federal executive as well as the federal council of the Democratic Alliance that this indeed is not only the best candidate but the candidate that will fix the financial capital of Johannesburg, and this is why we are here today in Soweto.
Talk to us with regards to something that is not a secret when it comes to politics or politicians. Some would define it as politicians saying what people want to hear and later on doing nothing. Service delivery is an issue, and it has been a challenge throughout these years across the country.
Well, we have seen what the Portfolio Committee of COCTA has done, traveled throughout the country. They have seen the situation is dire in Free State. They've also been to Northwest. Every single municipality in Northwest is a failed state. Every single municipality, unfortunately also in Northwest Province, is a failed municipality. Johannesburg falls in the same category of a failed state, a criminal state, a mafia state, and a corrupt state. This place has no water. I mean, that's the first function of a municipality, to provide things. You this morning needed 4 things from your municipality. Number 1, you needed water because you went to the bathroom to brush your teeth. Secondly, you needed to switch on the light. You need electricity. Thirdly, you needed sanitation to flush the toilet. And fourthly, you want to put out your refuge. That is what this candidate will bring to the city of Johannesburg. A failed municipality can no longer be allowed to destroy the reputation. Later this month, next month, the G20 will be taking place here in Johannesburg. We've heard the president. He was furious about the state of municipalities here in Johannesburg, but he was clear. He said the best place to run municipalities is the Democratic Alliance, and we will bring that best service delivery right here to Johannesburg. Johannesburg is an important municipality, more than 100 billion rand budget, but because of corruption, because of mismanagement, because of fraud, everything is not working. And that's why the mayor of Johannesburg is currently before the Portfolio Committee of Water and Sanitation in the National Parliament to come and account. But as Greta Mantashe said, when you talk about ANC councillors, it is the Lolo when it comes to capacity. Today, we bring capacity to the city of Johannesburg.
Talking about capacity, before I let you go, you make mention of the president speaking highly of you, but this week we did, as the SABC engaged to the president and said that as much as the books of governance DA excels, the challenge in the Western Cape is also reaching those locations when it comes to service delivery. That remains to be a challenge, the DA not reaching those particular areas in terms of service delivery. I mean, no one should be left out.
Well, we know the Gini coefficient is the factor that determines the levels of inequality. And that test has been done, and it has proven that inequality in South Africa is the lowest where the Democratic Alliance is governing. So there's the evidence. We believe in facts and evidence, and the evidence is clear. If you compare Soweto with Khayelitsha, you will get better quality of services in Khayelitsha than here in Soweto, because we have invested more than 7 billion rand in infrastructure in Khayelitsha. Better services for the citizens because the DA gets things done and the president agrees.
Well, thank you so much, Chris. That was Dr. Ivan Meyer there, saying that if you compare Khayelitsha and Soweto, Khayelitsha stands out, saying that as the DA, they're leaving nothing to chance. With regards to the announcement today, we know that Chris Helder today is their first step in terms of shooting that first bullet to show that they're leaving nothing to chance by announcing the person that who's going to take the party forward, who's going to appeal to the people here in Johannesburg. But Griselda, announcements of names, we'll still have to wait to see if that particular person will appeal to people come the day of voting. Griselda, with that being said, it's back to you in studio.
Ntlantla Kgatlhane, thank you very much indeed. Live to us from Soweto ahead, of course, of that announcement of the mayoral candidate for Johannesburg, that of course are coming from the DA. We'll wait and see. Lots of speculation about who that's going to be. Lots of reports, of course, about who exactly that person's going to be. But let's wait for the official announcement, of course, to take place.